Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 19, Book 4, Strytor the Skeleton Dragon. And here we are again with another epic adventure of Beast Quest. So like always, my in-depth story analysis and then my overall thoughts on this epic adventure. Tom and friends were still on their quest to stop Jezrin from drinking from the Well of Power. If he did, he would become invincible. However, Tom was poisoned from his last battle. He was now starting to turn into a lizard-like being. When they tried to check over his wounds, Petra revealed that Jezrin wouldn't go to the well without a plan, as it is guarded by a powerful dragon. Then, when Tom went to sleep, he was suddenly woken when Rourke, Petra's pet crow, was stealing Tom's tokens he had acquired from defeating the other three dragons. It was revealed that Rourke was a servant to Jezrin all along, so he could steal the tokens. Rourke left, leaving a dramatic blow to our heroes. Great. Tom and friends were chasing Rourke when they were attacked by a group of buff lizard men, and the book does address the people's race as Dragonians. Makes sense. This was not a good time for a fight. Tom was still wounded with the poison. Petra and Eleanor put up a good fight, but they were overpowered. Even Tom tried, but it was suicide. Tom just received even more pain than his last reaction. Tom was knocked off a cliff, and of course, he manages to just survive. But everyone else presumed him dead. The Dragonians took Petra and Eleanor to the Skeleton Dragon to offer as sacrifices/payment to stop the beast from being angered. Which kind of sounds confusing, because if Strytor would cause havoc on the tribe for not delivering payment, wouldn't he leave his position of guarding the well, allowing Jezrin to get it? Whatever. Tom picked himself up, and using his sword as a crutch, he followed the trail of Petra and Eleanor to the skeleton graveyard. He soon found his companions, but he was then contacted by the Red Jewel, telling him Strytor was here. He was one of the skeletons hiding in the graveyard. Before they could escape, Strytor formed himself, and he was ready for battle. Great. Tom did his best to battle the skeleton dragon, but it was no use. Despite trying to get on the dragon's back, he was quickly tossed off and bumped into Petra. Eleanor's arrows did no such damage either, but they had to defeat Strytor quickly because now no beast was guarding the Well of Power. Jezrin is probably making his move. So, Tom mustered up some inner strength, and looking closely, he spotted some magic, which is connecting to Strytor's bones together. So dodging Strytor's dragon blasts, Tom used the power of the golden armor to knock him to a pile of bones. However, even with their victory, they were hoping they still had a chance to stop Jezrin before he reached the Well of Power. I hope that wasn't the end of Strytor, otherwise that would have been the shortest beast fight in the whole of the series. Because all Tom had to do was, like, we need to do this quickly. We haven't got time for this. Golden armor power. Charge! It smashed to bits. Done. Okay. That's weird. But moving on. Tom and friends chased after Jezrin, but it was too late. He got the jump on them and put them in a force field spell, so they couldn't get out. He then bragged about how his planning of outsmarting Tom. Each dragon contained the ingredients he needed to summon the well, and he stayed away from the well until he had all three tokens. This makes sense why Jezrin didn't rush on ahead to the well's location. If he got there faster, he wouldn't have gotten the tokens from Tom. So, the well was summoned. Jezrin drank from the well, and similar to Indiana Jones, a voice says, "He's not worthy." It was Strytor. Luckily, he was alive, and because Jezrin was unworthy, Strytor blasted him to death. So Jezrin is now dead. But Strytor still had a duty to protect the well, and saw our heroes as enemies. I should also mention, when Jezrin drank the well, it took away his magic, which released our heroes from the shield spell. So that's some good news. But yeah, that's a nice little bit of there, how Jezrin used Tom to go after certain specific dragons, as they contain the ingredients he needed to help access the well. Kind of weird, but I like that planning from Jezrin. It's a nice touch. Strytor shot out his fire blast, and while everyone else ducked for cover behind boulders, Tom used his shield with Verno's fire token to protect him. He joined the others. However, Tom soon realized he had caught fire. While trying to roll it off, Strytor was making his move on our fallen hero, when luckily Petra created a magic ice shield which would temporarily protect Tom and herself. Eleanor shot an arrow which did nothing to Strytor or piss him off, so he left, saying he would be back with more power. Then our heroes turned around and saw to our shock and horror, Strytor was shown to reawaken the dead when in range of skeletons. How do I put this? Strytor was shown to reawaken the dead when in range of skeletons. They were rising from the dead and charging at our heroes. So, like, what I'm trying to say is, so yes, Strytor can bring back the dead, but if there's skeletons close by, per se. And luckily enough, considering he's with all these dead victims, there's a lot of skeletons around. So yeah, kind of fucked up. I really like Strytor. He may not be in the story very much, but when he does get his moments to shine, it's damn cool. I like that. Tom went after Strytor while Petra and Eleanor dealt with the skeleton army. Tom decided to lower his guard, luring Strytor at close range. Then when the dragon prepared to fire, Tom quickly leapt for Strytor's ribcage, which is where the dragon's fire source comes from. Strytor tried to shake him off by flying in the air, but it was no use, so Strytor decided if he couldn't stop Tom, he would go after his friends, which pissed Tom off and made him jam his shield into Strytor's fire source. Luckily, with Furno's token, the shield was able to not only stay in one piece, but because Strytor's own fire blast, basically, how do I put this? So basically, Tom blew up the fire source by tricking Strytor, put it bluntly. So that's a nice little trick there. So he turned Strytor's own fire blast on himself, exploding at Strytor. And since Tom was holding on to the shield, he was unaffected by the fiery explosion. However, Strytor was falling. Tom jumped and called on Arthur's eagle feather, but a rock hit his head, and when he landed, everything went black. Tom was taken by his friends to the Well of Power to save Tom's life, but Tom refused to drink it as he feared it would take away his powers, and that he was not worthy. However, it was revealed Strytor survived the fall, and the dragon said he was worthy. Then Tom put it together that there were actually 4 tokens. 3 were needed to summon the well, the 4th being Strytor's fire source, and that one was to prove your worth. Once Tom had discovered that, and proved his worth to attempt to stop Strytor from harming his friends, it was enough evidence to convince the dragon he was worthy. So Tom placed his hand into the well. It healed the poison, and then he drank it, which helped Tom fully recover. I'm assuming he still has his golden armor powers because he's worthy. Like, all the unworthy people get their magic taken away from them, and all the worthy people are able to keep their magic. That's how I'm assuming it works. But of course, Petra had summoned all the good known dragons to give them a ride home, basically. And yeah, guys, that's essentially it for Strytor the Skeleton Dragon. I had a few scuffles here and there, but hopefully it came out pretty well, nonetheless. Jezrin's now dead. And again, it's by another dragon. I mean, this is a really funny thing, guys, but every time we have an evil wizard-type character, they're gonna get, the majority of them get killed by a dragon. Malvel, killed by a dragon. Cancer gets shot, Series 14, by a dragon. And now, with Series 19, Jezrin gets shot by a dragon. Sure, each of these villains comes back, apart from Jezrin, of course, because he just experienced his. But I find that very ironic, that it's always the dragons that get the one shot here. Going over the characters, starting off with Tom. Tom is probably the bravest character in this book so far. Well, not so far because it's the end of the quest, but easily with all the pain he's gone through, it's amazing to see him carry on with this big epic final fight. And of course he's able to beat Strytor. It's really incredible how far he's come. He's able to go up to the dragon, blast it with his shield, and able to prove himself worthy of the Well of Power, which is something Jezrin could not figure out or do. So it's pretty impressive. Petra and Eleanor do get the shaft, but what can you do? They do distract. The only thing major they do that is really useful, I'd say, is save Tom's life. Other than that, though, they basically result to distracting the skeleton army. As for Jezrin, very great villain. He's up there with the big ones. He's up there with Malville, I'd say. Very conniving, cunning, and he's always one step ahead. He had a great series in Series 13. Um, and his death was pretty good, I'd say. Pretty good death. And as for Strytor, he's a very good beast. Very cool. The coolest out of the four, I'd say. Able to revive the entire dead. The skull design, the undead dragon. Sure, it's nothing more than a big skeleton, but I think a skeleton dragon is just a way cool design, and the fire breath, awesome. Gotta love it. But yeah, that's essentially it for the characters here. So we'll move on now to my overall thoughts. And I probably will say easily without a doubt that this book, Strytor the Skeleton Dragon, is easily the best. No, not the best. I take that back. It's not the best, but I would say it's a tie. It's a tie with yeah, it's a tie with Vetrix. It's funny though because I said Quarg and Korvax were a tie, and now I'm saying Vetrix and Strytor are a tie. Very interesting, isn't it, how it turns out? But yeah, that's how I would rank the books. So, what's best now is the two final ones are tied for first place, and the two first ones are tied for second place. That's not how I expected the list to come out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Nonetheless, guys, there's my wrap-up of Series 19, Strytor the Skeleton Dragon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, go subscribe, like good stuff. Hit the notification bell button right in the corner so you can stay in tune with all Beast Quest related topics on my channel. And next time on Beast Quest, we'll be moving on to Series 20, and that series being called The Isle of Ghosts. That'd be cool. And next time we'll be dealing with Zulok, the Winged Spirit. Till next time, guys. Peace.